let me get a cat or dog. Well, when I was around 7, me, my mom, and my grandmother went into Petco to get my mom some animal food, not remembering that it was pet adoption day. Shelters love to bring their animals to pet stores to persuade the people who walk in to adopt themselves a new friend. Well, of course, 7-year-old me saw the only female left, and I just had to have her. With lots of persuasion, I was able to get my sweet black-faced mutt, Sadie Grace. One of those sweet furry faces could be the pet that needs you to be their forever home. The need is constantly growing for animals to be adopted from shelters, and it is such a simple process to adopt. Today, I'd like to talk to you about first, the need for pet adoption, second, how you can adopt a pet in your area, and finally, how your family and the pet itself can benefit from the adoption. Pets need to be adopted so both their life and the life of an animal in need of a shelter can be saved. The problem is that there are so many pets sitting in the shelters not even being looked at by people. Overcrowding is a huge problem in many animal shelters. According to the ASPCA, the reason is that only 42% of animals brought into shelters are brought into other families. You can choose to go adopt an animal from a shelter near you, and you can even choose what animal you want to adopt. Animal shelter adoption is very important. Pets everywhere, especially in your area, need to be adopted from shelters. In an article by the ASPCA, approximately 7.6 million companion animals enter shelters every year. The problem causing this is that only 36% of animals are saved from the possibility of euthanization annually. So this picture here is an image of phenobarbital, which is a drug used for euthanizations in animals. And when they insert it into the animal, it only takes 1 to 2 minutes to make their heart stop. The following poem by Diane Morgan's Treetop Rescue website shows the importance of animal adoption and how it can benefit both the family, the person adopting, and the animal's lives. The following goes like this. I am made of mush because my heart melted when I saw you. Matted and sore, limping, depressed, lonely, unwanted, and afraid to love. For the time you are mine, I will feed you with my own hands. I will love you with my whole heart, and I will make you whole. I am sure that you can see the need for pet adoption. Many people I have asked tell me that they do in some part of their life want to adopt from a shelter, but you may be wondering, is it hard to adopt? Absolutely not. Let me tell you how easy it is to adopt from a shelter. So when you are going about adopting an animal, this is just some few easy steps that you can follow. The most important thing you need to do is talk to your family about your decision. They are most likely going to be with you whenever you do go to the shelter and adopt, so you do need to make sure that they all are on the same page. Next thing you do is you go to the shelter and you look around and see if there's any animal that catches your eye. And once you think you've found the one, ask the shelter worker to let them out of their cage so you can actually meet in person just to make sure you are making the right decision. And according to adoptapet.com, once you think you found the one, let the worker know, and you have to go to the front desk and maybe give them your ID, fill out any necessary paperwork like that one right there, pay a fee, and get the copies of the vaccination records if they do have any. And after that, you can take home your newest family member. You can see now that it is not difficult to adopt from a sheltered place. Now that you know how to adopt, let's look at what comes from adopting the pet and how it can happen, what can happen if you choose to or not to adopt. Shelter adoptions benefit both the animal as well as the family receiving the pet. If you adopt from a shelter, your family and friends will definitely see a difference in both your life and the animal's life. All right, everybody, I want you to meet Otis. On a story from barkpost.com, a woman and her husband really wanted a dog. So they went to the shelter near them, and out came Otis. Otis's litter owner's child was actually struck by a car, so the family knew that they could no longer keep the litter or the mom of the litter, so they brought them to a shelter. When first meeting Otis, the couple completely fell in love and knew that it was a done deal. The wife stated that, after losing both of our parents in the previous year, Otis did the job of filling the void that we thought could never completely be filled. He has quite the personality, and we love him to pieces. This dog gave the love and happiness to a family that Otis never even knew he could give. The problem arises when you are thinking about adopting and either don't or do not even tell anybody that you want to. Then no one knows that you want to, and nobody can be that support system behind you to make that decision. This means leaving the animal in a shelter, which could cause more overcrowding than they already have, which could lead to more euthanization of animals. Adopting an animal is needed now more than ever. As you can easily see, adopting from a shelter is one of the best decisions you can make and could bring one of the greatest gifts into your life. I've told you the need for animal shelter adoption, how easy it is to go along to a shelter and adopt, and finally, how you and the animal can both benefit from the adoption. You can become an adoptive parent by talking to your family, choosing the perfect furry friend for you, showing your ID, filling out paperwork, and taking that sweet face home. What if there was a family emergency in your life that caused you to have to give up your loved pet? Wouldn't you want someone to take that sweet baby home because you know how amazing they are? Think of the comfort that you would have knowing that although you could no longer take care of your pet, someone else stepped up and did. I'm going to leave you with this quote from Anatole France. Until one has loved an animal, a part of one's soul remains unawakened. Please step up, take action, and save a sheltered life.